As a CH-46 pilot, as part of the 3rd Marine Expeditionary Force, I was flying, briefing, leading, and I lived at work. I lived on the ship, me and all the other pilots working almost 24 hours a day to accomplish our mission, our training, our operations down there in the Pacific. But I had just been reassigned to the Naval Postgraduate School. I was going to come out here and there was a lot of things that I needed to worry about in terms of getting over here, like our area clearance. My dogs can only fly a certain time of the year. I had to make sure there was infrastructure set up here to get everything going. So I had that going on, and we had bought a house, sight unseen. We knew it needed renovations, but when I got here, I didn't realize it was going to need the renovations that we saw. 45 days of all our leave, $35,000 were spent renovating this home, putting in new windows, dropping ceilings, knocking out walls, not to mention the lead laws that they had just passed, not to mention the inspectors. So much stuff going on that we had to attend to in the renovation of this home. Additionally, if I didn't have enough to do, I said, hey, why don't I just learn how to run a marathon? I'll just train for a marathon and go out and run the Marine Corps Marathon. Running every day, doing all the renovations. Oh, and not to mention the academic quarter. That's starting up. Operations research. We're talking about calculus, proof by induction. I don't even know what that means. Something happened. I started to feel very, very empty. I started to have this recurring dream where I was in deep, deep water with big fish around me. I was very scared. I increasingly was becoming angry, isolated, and depressed. Something had to change. Stephen Covey famously asked, have you ever been so busy, too busy, driving that you couldn't get gas? We have a tendency to keep moving and going and not taking a minute to stop to see what's going on. This is a story that I want to share with you about myself, a little bit of history on how I had to stop to move forward. 3 things helped me on my journey. And the 3 things were jiu-jitsu, charity, and Toastmasters. These 3 things were instrumental in providing a lifeline into that deep water that allowed me to climb out and actually rejoin the human race. Physical fitness has always been part of my life. It's been a big part of my life, and it's always helped me with my mood and made me feel better about myself. But when I got out here, I felt like I was swimming and swimming and swimming upstream. I was heavy. I was overweight. I wasn't making any progress despite all this marathon training I was doing. And I had to stop and reevaluate what I was doing, where I was going. I had a friend who was involved in the Marine Corps Martial Arts program with me who was very good at grappling, who was very good at martial arts, and I couldn't understand why he was so good. And I talked to him finally one day, and he said he was involved in jiu-jitsu training at a school not more than 100 yards outside the gate of the Naval Postgraduate School. And it took a lot for me to walk into these doors of the Body Works gym because I was angry. I was depressed. I wanted to be isolated. But I didn't want to be held down. I didn't want to be pinned by those feelings. So I walked in, and because of Coach Daniel Thomas that you see here, I was able to start jiu-jitsu and able to start learning the sport. And I got so much from it. What I like about it, and why it's going to be part of my life for the rest of my life, is frankly the combat. The combat and the learning. It's something that I found that I needed. I needed to be in an environment where I tested myself one-on-one with another person. The thing I learned from it was being evaluated by a coach one day. I said, Coach, what do I need to do? What do I need to get better? What do I need to do to get better? And he said, you know, sometimes you don't always have to put so much energy into the situation. You're running around, you're bouncing, you're going back and forth, you're trying to apply all this force. Stop. Stop and evaluate what you need to do, and then use the techniques. When I first got here to the Naval Postgraduate School, the main entrance to the base was the Del Monte Gate. And I used to drive by or run by in the mornings, and I used to see a group of people in the parking lot across the street from the Del Monte Gate. And I looked a little bit closer, and I saw that it was a lot of destitute and homeless people out there. And I looked even closer, and I saw that there were 2 women out there who were feeding these people regularly. And I thought to myself, oh, that's nice. That's good that someone's out there doing it. And I know that a lot of us have been in the situation where we see someone who needs help. We see someone on the street who's asking for money, and we often think to ourselves, well, you know, I really would like to help you, but I don't want to give you money. I don't know where that money's going to go, but I still feel compelled that I need to do something for you. And I would drive by this consistently, going to Home Depot or going to wherever. And one day, finally, those feelings inside me compelled me to stop. I stopped and I pulled into the parking lot, and I talked to Jeannie Qualia, and I said, what can I do to help out here? And she involved me in the charity Loaves and Fishes. Here I was able to help her prepare food, transport food to the homeless, not only at that area, but also the Sand City Salvation Army. And I got involved. I learned how to make a lot out of leftovers, one. And I learned also that sometimes you need to stop. Don't drive by. And the action will be its own reward. And help me climb out of my own personal depression and try and help people in spite of it. And then finally, Toastmasters. I came here from an ethos of briefing. I came here from constantly having to express and give out information regularly. And I thought I was pretty good at it. At least I was getting good feedback that, hey, you can give altitudes, airspeeds, checkpoints, deconfliction, the objective area, you can do all that. That's good to go. But what I learned here and coming into Toastmasters was that it's not about simply rote information. It's about communication. This manual, Competent Communications Manual, says it right here on the front. Competent communication. It's taken me speeches to get that through my head. That's what we're doing here. That's what we're learning here. That's what I have started to embrace. And it's because of Toastmasters. And I thank you for that. Old smoothies like Fred were able to, with grace, handle any situation and articulate themselves so effectively. Technical masters of speech like Arnie, I've learned so much from. Sharon Lipinski, who's not here, our former president, the way that she was able to emote and speak was very moving to me. And Tom Shee, whose energy, no matter what the situation was, always brought the meeting up. I learned so much being here. And I struggled a lot with coming in here, but I've learned so much, and I realized that I didn't have those skills of communication. And I need to work on those skills of communication. And being here has allowed me to work on that. Being with you all has allowed me to work. If you've ever been in a situation where you feel like you're moving, you're that big cruise liner, captain and crew long gone, that's crashing through icebergs, like I was, take a minute to stop. Look at what you might need to do to keep moving forward. For me, it was jiu-jitsu. It was charity, thinking about others and service. It was Toastmasters, learning how to communicate with people and learning how to truly try and reach them. Those are the things that gave me strength, that have put me what I feel is on a good course. And it's good to be moving again. Literally moving to Quantico. It's good to be moving. I may not be flying, but I feel like I'm moving. Thank you.